Did it start?
What is going on, everybody?
Hello?
Welcome to another episode of the Run and Gun Podcast. I don't know
Yes.
which one of us is doing the intro tonight.
I'm Jay Peeps. That's Ace. And as he said, yeah, welcome to tonight's episode of the Running Gun Podcast, Season 8, Episode 4. Welcome to the Final Four, folks. We finally made it to that. So we have a fun one in store for you tonight. We're going to talk about both matchups, or all, I guess, 8 matchups between the men and the women both. So you got 2 matchups, or not, 8.
4 games.
Or 4 games.
4 games, 8 teams between the weekend.
Yes.
And it's going to be a fun one, guys. We got NC State repping both 2 teams. UConn representing 2 teams. Shout out them. You got Iowa on the women's side for Caitlin Clark and them girls over there. Balled out against LSU. You got... give me a second. Burns having all the fart. Yeah, DJ Burns in their version of his NC State squad. You got South Carolina, North Carolina State on Friday, and Connecticut, Iowa on Friday. Both games for the women are on Friday, and give me a second while I pull it up. And Saturday, you got Purdue, NC State, Saturday at 6, Alabama, Connecticut, Saturday at 9, give or take. So those are our 8 teams. Well, two of the same schools, so 6 schools basically.
It's gonna be a fun weekend. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Elite 8 did not disappoint.
Facts.
Sweet 16 kicked my butt in the bracket though.
Also, I will say this: there's an update within the FAMU coaching circle, but I'm also sworn to secrecy. So all 3 of you that are watching on Twitter, if you want to find out, you'll have to kill me first. So,
well, I don't know it, so don't ask me either.
Oh, I know. You'll know soon. Actually.
But anyways, we got NFL. Big trade went down in the NFL. We'll talk about that. Some weird stuff coming out about pro days over in Mississippi. Or is it Missouri? Anyway, one of them M states. Jackson County's in Missouri, but I'm pretty sure Jackson, Mississippi is the issues being had. But also there is issues in Jackson County, Missouri too. We'll talk about that in the NFL section. That's where I'm getting mixed up. NBA playoffs coming in right up around the corner.
The NHL playoffs are coming up.
Sorry. NHL playoffs start, I believe, in 10 days, give or take. Today's the 3rd, so yeah, about the 15th. Well, the season ends the 17th, so a little more than 2 weeks. So the playoffs start for them. NBA finishing same time. MLB full swing already. Got some good stuff happening. First no-hitter happened a couple nights ago. Talking all about that. By the way, be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. We're going to run this intro and get the fun begin.
Yes.
Or fun started. Anyway.
Yep.
I'm half asleep.
Sir.
JK.
Let's go.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is JP.
This is the Bug.
This is JC.
This is Flash.
This is Jimi Hendrix.
And you're listening to.
And you're listening to.
And you're listening to.
And you're listening to the Run and Gun Podcast.
All right. Switch that background and let's go.
It's already switched, buddy. You know it. So, I don't know if we said it last week, but kickoff time has been announced for FAMU spring game. That'll kick off at 4 p.m. as well too. The day before, they'll have like the championship rings will be given out. So there's also that's going on.
That's good for them.
Yeah. And then at the same time too, so this just happened as well. So Alan Smith entered the transfer portal as well as Deco Wilson. So that's also unfortunate. So 2 key players already gone. I think Alan Smith already entered it once and then hopped back out, then hopped back in it. So my thing is, look, dude, I'm never gonna knock somebody for what they do. So it's like, if you want to go, go. That's my philosophy on it. If they want to go, go. Let them go. Thank you for your contribution.
I mean, to the fact you went in the transfer portal, came out of the transfer portal, and then went back in the transfer portal. Yeah, nobody gonna miss you. I'm gonna be real. At that point,
that's not slander. That's just I wish you well, dude. But
that's just being real.
Yeah,
you do for you what you got to do. We're gonna do for us what we got to do.
Bingo.
Pretty much it.
Yeah. Also, too, so FAMU came up just short in baseball against University of Florida. 7-10 was the final. But surprising thing, no errors committed in that game.
Good for them. They needed that.
Yeah, honestly, dude, I'm gonna be real with you. I look at a lot of the scores against other SWAC teams.
Keep it clean, keep it good. Build on that.
Exactly. But I look at a lot of the scores against other SWAC teams that when FAMU plays them, and I'm just like, dude, FAMU's like,
hold on, my internet's lagging.
Uh-oh. Internet's lagging, folks. Bear with him. As I was saying, folks, yeah, I look at FAMU's baseball team and I'm like, I think that this team is eons ahead of the rest of the competition in conference, and I just don't see anybody that could really stop them, because I feel personally guaranteed come tournament time, I think this team's going to end up in Gainesville in the regional, or, well, honestly, depending, because right now Florida State's, last I checked, was undefeated, might end up right there in the Tallahassee regional as one of 4 teams that get invited to that. So it could be FAMU and Florida State both facing off against each other. All right, Ace, you better?
Am I lagging?
You better, buddy?
I hope so.
Sound good.
I hope so.
As I was saying,
all right.
No,
it's not glitching or anything, right?
No, you're good. But yeah, no, as I was saying basically to the folks is just, I think what we may have is FAMU may end up back in Gainesville for that regional, or possibly even, since Florida State is undefeated right now, may end up, in Tallahassee, just staying in Tallahassee, because like it might be a Tallahassee regional where FAMU has to just play against, say,
right across.
Yeah, right across. So you may have a situation where FAMU may get matched up against Florida State, and then you never know, like someone like maybe Memphis, just randomly speaking or tossing out there, Memphis or Florida Gulf Coast might also get the invite too to be in that regional. It could shake out like that. Who knows?
I mean, hey, if it's right there, Florida State FAMU game, that's right there. I mean, that would be good baseball for whole city of Tallahassee, but also state of Florida. Don't get a whole lot of in-state baseball on a big high stake kind of level. So
no, facts. That's facts, dude. I would enjoy it, honestly. I think that's where we're headed, because right now, dude, I personally, this early on to say, I do feel like FAMU's winning the SWAC in baseball again. I do. I don't see anybody that could really come close. I just don't. I'm looking at the margin of victory, and it's no contest. I look at softball. I feel the same way. I don't see anybody right now that's going to compete with this team. This team is, out in the SWAC at least. Both teams are very powerful. Bats come alive when they need to, and that's what you need in college baseball. Plus the fact too that aluminum bats are wooden bats, so your home run rate is guaranteed to go up. For those that don't
know. Them aluminum bats change it so much, man. It's crazy.
Dude, honestly, it's in a huge way. Honestly, that's why the MLB doesn't play with aluminum bats, because The scores would be insane if they played with aluminum
Home runs
bat.
will be insane.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
But hey, at least FAMU baseball is good compared to the basketball team. But basketball coach is going to be figured out soon. Who knows?
hopefully there's a plan there. We're gonna hope. Like I said,
Who
the
knows?
same energy that went into football needs to go into basketball. That's how we need to approach it. If you want to get back to the tournament for the first time since 2007, you got to put the same energy and drive into finding a basketball coach like you did for a football coach. You got to. And then trust whoever you bring in as a basketball coach to go in and get the right players to play in your system and play for this university. Because honestly, I was going to save this for earlier tonight, but I'm going to say it now. We've seen already how playing in the paint, having that big dominant center matters still. And again,
NC State, ethical hoops still.
NC State, Purdue,
Ethical hoops don't matter.
Exactly. I was looking at Alabama against North Carolina. I picked North Carolina to win this whole thing in one bracket. I picked Auburn to win it in another. But
hey, you's a genius. I was like, whew, North Carolina State with that run, man. Holy crap.
No, I picked
the fact they almost didn't even make it to the tournament. Oh, you picked North Carolina. I thought you meant. I know you were talking about North Carolina State on upsets. Upset people.
No, but man. I had NC State in my Final Four. That was
you saw something there, man.
Dude,
that's what you cooked on.
I'm gonna talk about it later, but I saw the way the ACC tournament ended. But anyway, it's like, no, you see now, still having that star center or like that dominance in the paint plays a huge factor in your success. You don't need
in college. I wouldn't say NBA too, I guess, to an extent.
Well, yeah.
I mean, look at the Nuggets won the ring. Their best player was the center. No, Embiid is kind of a weird situation, but like Embiid is a free throw merchant. But I'll talk about that in the basketball section.
Playing in the paint matters, and that's what you need to harp on. If you're FAMU, you got to go get dominant. You got to go get dominant players in the paint, both men and women.
You're talking like an old head. It's so funny. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. I'm just saying it is funny. It's like we sound like old heads right now. But then again, you also got Caitlin Clark who will just shoot like 10 threes a game and still carry her team from oblivion. That team, man, if you take Caitlin Clark off of that team, man, Iowa ain't going nowhere.
Respect.
But then again, LSU thought it was. I'll talk about LSU and their stupidity coaching wise, and who they had matched up on her in the college section. But like,
I think,
oh my god, that was like, what are y'all doing? But it's all good, all good.
I think you and all of America is upset about that. But the other thing too is
5-7 on her going under screens. Oh my god.
So also speaking of baseball, Southern also upset LSU in a game recently, which was huge. And it means a little more for them because honestly, I mean, I've seen FAMU upset Florida before, but I feel like that one means a little bit more because they are in the same city. So seeing Southern get the upset like that, that's a big deal.
Good on Southern.
Facts. For real. And then also, too, Jackson State's women's basketball coach, Tamika Reed, also has become a free agent since the last time we spoke.
Hey, I mean, Jackson State made that term. She's going to go to probably D1 school and cook there.
A D1 FBS program.
You know what I meant. Yeah, D1 FBS, probably Power 5 I meant to say.
I was going to say we have to be careful with these things because certain people.
I know. I don't want to disrespect the FCS teams. My bad. No, you know what I meant.
It's not even that. It's just certain people like to learn.
So I'm just, yeah, I know. They don't understand it.
But at the same time, too, I guess it's okay because I also got told that
she'll go to a blue blood school.
Yeah. Well, I was also going to say, like, I also got told. But you're right. Possibly. It's unfortunate, but you're right. But, I mean, I guess it is okay for you to say it like that because, I mean, I got told by somebody that Aubrey Miller was a better linebacker than Marquise Bell, and Marquise Bell is the starting middle linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys. So if that ain't the horse's ass talking, then I don't know what is.
Okay. All right. That's
Let's
the transition point.
let's not pull up Pro Football Focus and actually point the fact out.
Hey, they called us madmen when we said Marquise was going to be a star in the league. I just pray to God Mike Zimmer's not I know he's an old head, but I just hope he doesn't go run a conservative defense with traditional linebackers and like take him off the field. That'd be stupid. That's my one concern. But like you got to keep the talent guys out there.
The tape and the analytics speak for itself.
Mm-hmm.
He thrives in that system. You need to keep him on the field. The way the NFL is now and the way the game is now, you
need fast guys at the linebacker position.
Exactly. You don't need the big giant Brian Urlacher type guy anymore. You need the fast
guys who can cover McCaffrey.
Exactly. You need guys that if you needed to, you need guys that could at least run with a slot receiver for 10 yards.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you need. Because I guarantee you now, Brian Urlacher, as great as he was, he would not thrive in that system that Marquise.
He wouldn't survive in this era.
He would have to change.
He would be good. He would be good, but he would probably have to be more of a pass rushing linebacker.
Exactly. He would have to be like an outside linebacker, like coming off the edge, full speed, or playing in the flat. Because, like, dude,
he wouldn't survive. He'd just be barbecue chicken.
Exactly. But it's fine. You know,
moving on.
People get on these apps and they say whatever they want, but you know, okay.
Hey, that's the fun of it, though. We just have fun with it when they come, and it keeps it entertaining because it's better than having ESPN talk about the same nonsense and hot takes and whatever, and not actual sports.
It does, and I usually don't chime in on the talk, but you know, every now and again, it's like let's keep it a little interesting. Kind of remind the people that we do have brains here at Penalty Talk.
I don't know. We'd sometimes be a little goofy, but we're good. We're smart. We have some brains sometimes.
That's true. And we were, well, you know, I'm not going to say
we're unserious. We're unserious most of the time.
We are.
In a good way.
We are. We can be.
All right. So this part you want to talk about first. We want to talk about idiocy in Kansas City. Well, technically it happened in Dallas, but idiocy there? Or are we talking about massive trade going to Houston? Or are we talking about
we can talk
stadium troubles?
Hold up. You are taking me by surprise with stadium troubles, but I was definitely going to say the Stefon Diggs thing for a second-round pick.
I thought you want to talk about the Rashee Rice part.
I wanted to know about the stadium trouble, because what happened with that?
Bro, they was talking about Jackson County didn't want to bring back they don't want to do the lease back again for the Chiefs when it's up for Arrowhead.
You can't tear down.
No, they're not going to tear it down. It's just they don't want to give them a new stadium.
Why leave? It's so symbolic and historic. Renovate it.
Well, yeah. Hold on, I'll pull up the exact stuff, but yeah. We could talk about the Diggs stuff if we really want to. So was thrown into question. So according to KOD News, I guess that's Kansas City News, I guess, they were saying how the residents of Jackson County voted down a sales tax that would help fund a downtown new ballpark for the Royals and give renovations that are needed at Arrowhead.
Yeah, you need to renovate Arrowhead. I feel like, honestly, I feel like the Royals are still, you know, I'm going to look this up, because aren't the Royals still playing in the same stadium that Bo Jackson played in back in the day?
I know. So. That's why they need a new stadium. And but the fans don't want to pay for the sales tax on it.
Well, honestly, and look, it's a big deal for taxpayers. Okay, so it is the truth. So Kauffman Stadium, which is home to the Kansas City Royals, opened back on April 10th, 1973. It is, I mean...
Would you believe me if I said that stadium's over 50 years old now?
I believe it, yeah. And then plus, the stadium was renovated.
73, holy crap.
It underwent renovations back in 07 to 09. So, I mean, like, this is the same stadium that Bo Jackson played baseball in. And if you look out at the outfield past the stands in the outfield, like it looks like a cornfields out there. Which I mean, I'm not wrong. I mean, it's not wrong, but it's like you gotta do something with this. Renovations are
And
needed
get with the times. Yeah, renovations or a new stadium.
because I mean,
I don't know. I'm surprised they didn't want to like. If the taxpayers knew it was to renovate Arrowhead, I thought Chiefs fans loved Chiefs. You know, it's just like kind of strange. Like if it's a 0.5% sales tax, I know it's a big deal, but like,
dude, look,
I mean, it's not like you're not getting rings out of it. You don't want them to risk up and leaving.
I'll say it like this: you can love a team as much as you want, but at the end of the day, that's your taxpayer money.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Because think about it. Taxpayers didn't pay for Raymond James Stadium. Tampa Bay Sports Authority did. That is a fact. I know people that were in the courtroom when that ruling got settled. Because that went to court between the NFL and I think Tampa Bay Sports Authority and the city of Tampa. It was a big thing back then when the stadium was getting done. Tampa Bay Sports Authority had to take over that. So it can happen. And then, you look at these other stadiums and stuff, and it's a whole different story. And then even you end up with the Marlins Stadium, which is built on the site of the old Orange Bowl. And how does this relate to the NFL? Well, the old Orange Bowl was home to a couple of Super Bowls. Again, nobody wanted to see the Orange Bowl go away. And now you end up with the Marlins Stadium, which is a stadium where taxpayers in South Florida had to pay for that, and they didn't want to because nobody wanted that stadium. If we're being honest, if it were up to the taxpayers in Miami-Dade County, Miami Hurricanes would still be playing at the Orange Bowl. Would just probably renovate the Orange Bowl and update it to what it once was back in the 2000s to what it could be now in the 2020s. And then at the same time, too, the Marlins, according to a lot of people, and the Dolphins should still be sharing Hard Rock Stadium.
I mean, the Marlins have their own attendance issues still, and they got a new stadium.
And it's funny enough, it's a stadium nobody wanted.
Yeah.
But again, it's people are money hungry and power hungry. So that's what this issue is with the Chiefs. And that's how this all relates back to the Chiefs. So yes, you need to renovate Arrowhead somehow, some way. Now the Royals, that's another story. That's going to be tough. But
Arrowhead got to get done.
There's a whole bag of worms there. I just feel it, and I just and you hate it for. Yeah. But anyway, talking about this Rishi Rice thing.
He did cooperate with the Dallas PD in their investigation, so it won't be charged hit and run, I believe, because he had 10 days to report it in Texas. So we should be off there. Nobody died, so he should be fine there. Now, I don't think nobody was majorly hurt either, so he's probably going to have to deal with the lawsuit, from a car accident, typical lawsuit stuff. So, he'll have to deal with that, but otherwise, legally, I don't believe he'll be facing any charges or anything like that. So he should be fine on that. But overall, he was just an idiot. I guess people haven't learned anything from Henry Ruggs. I don't know why they haven't, but geez, man, you got a Corvette. You have a Lamborghini. You own the Corvette. You're leasing the Lamborghini, and yet you go and you're driving 100 plus miles an hour, and you're not, being safe with it. You haven't learned from Henry Ruggs and not doing stupidity. It's just come on now, y'all.
Dude, people never learn, man. People never learn, dude. It's I don't get it. What? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. It couldn't.
But anyways, positive Texas news. Houston Texans got their number one wide receiver. We knew that trade was coming, but I was surprised it took that long to happen because like we knew Diggs after that playoff loss, like you knew he was done with them. It's just like, why did it take so long to happen?
Honestly, you know, I had a feeling it was due. Because you have a situation where I feel like Stefon Diggs he realizes like we all realize, or like at least I realize, and like I've been telling you, the Buffalo Bills are a snake bit franchise. And
Yep.
playoffs multiple times, and you've lost. You've been to the Super Bowl four times in a row, and you lost. That franchise is snake bit because they had some good teams and could not get over the hump. And I don't see it happening anytime soon. And I guarantee you, much like you were saying back during football season, Stefon Diggs and Josh Allen ain't on the same page. So Stefon Diggs went to a young buck that he feels like can help get him to where he wants to go. And I have a lot more faith in what the Texans are building around CJ Stroud to eventually, maybe not this year, but eventually take on Kansas City and overcome Kansas City.
Yeah, if there's any quarterbacks in the league who in the AFC, I should say, who can take out Mahomes, there's only two guys that I even give the chance to, in Burrow and Stroud. I know we haven't really seen Stroud play Mahomes yet, but like, I don't know, something about Stroud is like, I don't think he will struggle in getting it done when it matters. He kind of reminds me of Burrow in that sense.
You know what sticks out to me most is I look back at his semifinal game against Georgia. They lost, but it's like you look at how calm and collected he was, regardless of like what they faced. And it was like he almost had him.
He should have had him. His defense forgot how to play defense.
And it's like, and plus a shanked kick too.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do that. I mean, 40-yard kick in college, I guess, is pretty hard. So like, yeah,
it is. But it's like, dude, I look at that and I'm like, this kid is really cool, calm, and collected. George is flying around hitting people, and he's still cool, calm, and collected. And it reminded me of who else is cool, calm, and collected and just keeps on coming regardless and just flings the football 40, 50 yards down the field like it's nothing. Joe Burrow. So it's like them two right there. Let CJ Stroud, let him mature. Let him get some film study in the offseason done on his own. Let him learn how to really evaluate other wide receivers and stuff and really break down a defense down to the smallest detail. Hopefully that's what he's been doing this offseason so far. That kid's going to be good. And the potential for the Texans is there.
You know, it's kind of strange too because like somebody was saying who's got the best wide receiver trio, right? And we know, how do I say this? Burrow, Chase, Higgins is dead because Boyd's a free agent. Higgins wants out, so it's just Chase right now. I know this wide receiver class is deep, so like the Bengals can easily reload it. But you're seeing them as like Houston's got now Diggs, Dell, Collins, right? And you still got Mechie, Hutchinson, and them guys, Noah Brown, all in your depth. It's like if any team got the weapons to do it to Kansas City, it's to Houston right now. But also if you need a team with like the defense, like you got a lockdown corner in Stingley right now. So they should be fine. I like the chances. You got the pass rusher and Will Anderson. You got some first round picks still. You use a 2025 pick to go get Diggs, so you're gonna still have all your assets for this draft. So like, I feel like they're gonna get it good. With that also being said, what else we got? Now I'm forgetting. Aaron Rodgers made $81 for his why did I say Gmail? Oh my god. For his jeez. He got $81 for his bonuses for the season because he only played like 8 snaps. So like he got the lowest amount, which was crazy.
I mean, hey, $81 can get you something good at Publix or something at a grocery
Hey,
store.
I know. That pays your grocery bills for the week. I don't even know if $81 covers your grocery bills nowadays. Like it used to, but now with grocery prices, like I don't know if that covers it or not.
It depends what you go get and stuff like.
But
But yeah, man, that's wild. That's wild.
That's wild.
Speaking of the Chiefs, though, the Chiefs also brought back Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah, I mean, it's still Pacheco's backfield, so I mean, it doesn't really matter.
It is. It's just added depth. And also, too, do you know the Bucks went and got Randy Gregory?
I mean, yeah, but like,
What's
doesn't
up with
move me.
What's up with all the NFC South teams getting like these like
Ex-San Francisco 49er pass rushers?
I mean, not even that. I was just gonna say aged pass rushers. It's like we got
But
Randy.
Chase Young's not that old.
He's not, but I mean, dude, that we don't know the severity of his neck injury. And then it's like you go get Jadeveon Clowney. Jadeveon Clowney's highlight was his Outback Bowl hit. And then now you got Randy Gregory, who, like, I think for me, at least the highlight of his career was in Dallas.
Oh yeah.
So it's like we have all these outdated pass rushers and Chase Young all in the NFC South now. So, like, what are we?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like them they got these old, well, not old, but like mid pass rushers, and they got all these mid quarterbacks. So it's just the NFC mid division. It's not even the NFC South division anymore. It's the NFC mid division. If this was like basketball basketball has like the Midwest division or whatever. This would be it. This is what it is. It's called the NFC Mid South division now, guys.
Jeez, stop. It's funny because someone has to win this division and go to the playoffs.
Yep.
Well, at least we know anybody in this. At least we know somebody in this division can knock out the NFC East champ.
Hey, what do you think of, like, why is all the news we have this week about the Chiefs? Oh my god, I'm tired about talking about the Chiefs because Carson Wentz got signed to the Chiefs too. Bro, I want to talk about something besides this Chiefs, bro. Like, come on now, y'all. Something happens, I could talk about somebody else. Nah, I got nothing else on anybody else. Bears, nah. Fields wants to wear number 2. It's just basically copy and paste Mike Vick on him. Just switch the last name.
I mean, wait, Stroud wants to switch to number 2?
No, not Stroud. Fields. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Steelers. Wrong Ohio State quarterback. Bang. Anyways. I don't know. Fields in number 2 just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, he needs to keep the number 1, dude.
Like, I don't know who has number 11, but like maybe 11. George Pickens isn't giving up 1.
Now, what I do want to see is I want to see what Lamar promised, where he said if he wins the Super Bowl, he's switching his number to number 1.
Hey, I think that would cost like a lot from Lamar because I think you have to buy the jerseys in order to switch your number. You have to buy up all the jerseys in circulation, and then you can switch your number or something like that. And like, there's a lot of Lamar jerseys out there, so his probably will be expensive to switch.
Possibly.
But other than that, I guess we could talk a little NFL draft. Michael Penix is meeting with the Raiders. Found that interesting.
Ooh, that is too. Also, too, I saw this on ESPN earlier. It was a big deal, but it was like, oh well, you know, I would take Jaden Daniels over Caleb Williams.
That would be Dan Orlovsky, I think, said that, right?
You
on
know,
McAfee show, he said that. I mean, it's not. I mean, I was high on Jaden Daniels since last year, but like, you still take Caleb over him.
Let me put it like this: if the Saints needed a quarterback right now,
who would I take?
Which one you sending up? Whose name are you writing down on the card to send up?
Drake May.
I was not expecting you to say that.
Nah, probably Caleb.
Interesting.
But Caleb, I don't know. Caleb, he needs to have a good coach, and the Saints don't have that. because he needs to get developed. He's really good and all that, but he still needs to get a coach and a veteran to help him make the right decisions in game. Because he kind of like has a little James tendency to take those big gambles on him, and I can see that blowing up in the league. So that's why I say like he needs to get a proper veteran and coach to set him straight, you know. Whereas with like a guy like Drake May, right? He's so like I watch him. He's been through all the different coaches at UNC. Coordinators, a lot of turnover in that team. Like, I'm not entirely worried about him when he goes to the NFL and his situation. I think he can be able to overcome some of them stuff. And Jaden Daniels, he needs to go to a team with a good coach and good veteran too.
Yeah. It goes back to what Cam Newton said about a lot of these teams don't do the players any favors when they first bring them in.
Mm-hmm.
Think back to it now. It's like, you know, the Bucs didn't do Jameis any favors. They didn't. Who else was there? You know, there's a couple of them.
Titans didn't do Mariota no favors.
They didn't. Yeah, exactly. Titans didn't do Mariota any favors.
To be honest, the Jaguars aren't doing Trevor Lawrence any favors either.
That part. You look at a guy like, I mean, give or take, he was a bust, but Jamarcus Russell. Raiders didn't do him any favors. Realistically speaking, if the Raiders had been more like firm with him and brought the hammer down on him and like actually told him what they expect versus being very loose with him and letting him get away with going home, letting him get away with going home and watching, like saying he was watching blank tapes and lying about it, if they'd actually been firm on him and actually like made him do things, that situation would have probably worked out differently too. But the Raiders weren't worth a you know what back then either.
Worth a damn.
So I mean, part of it is the front office and the team you go to. If you look at it, like you can see like who's trying to win and who's not, and everything. And certain teams need free agents to come in and play that position. Certain teams do not. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I have my own.
I think like JJ McCarthy in Minnesota, right?
I
think that would work out.
I think about him in Denver.
I think I mean, kind of like, but like if I had to make a thing, like if I needed a quarterback on a team, if I could pick a match made in heaven, it would probably be them. Because like JJ's got the legs, right? But he needs to work on his accuracy and stuff like that. You would start Sam Darnold for the year, sit JJ, let him learn a little bit, and then go. Because you need a quarterback who would fall outside the top 10. I think McCarthy would do it. Now, Penix, I feel like Penix in Seattle would make a whole lot of sense, but I don't think that happens. So.
You said Penix in Seattle?
Yeah, I would like that one. Keep the Washington offensive coordinators in Seattle right now. I like that one, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I can't see. I can see Geno Smith coming back again. Plus, it's like, didn't they just go get somebody too?
Yeah. Not Drew Lock, Sam Howell. That's why I said it's not going to happen.
Yeah, see, that ain't going to happen. Now, I could see him with the Raiders. He ain't coming to the NFC
The Raiders
South.
would be good.
He ain't coming to the NFC South.
He would easily be the best quarterback in the NFC South by week 10, but he ain't going to come.
Yeah, I mean, maybe now he could be someone that could go to Denver.
Nah, Sean won't want him. Sean has a type.
That I believe as well. That's why I said JJ McCarthy.
Look at Sean. Like outside of Bridgewater and Jameis, like Sean has a type.
And that's why I said JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, I guess I can see it happening.
Now,
I mean, he liked Mac Jones, so you never know.
Low key, I feel like the Dolphins could pull a trigger too and go get him as well. And just
Penix. Dolphins with Penix would be like.
I could see that. I could low key see that. Them just like.
But they don't have. I don't think they have the picks for it.
It could be one of them. No, it'd be one of them things you just least expect on the draft. Always expected.
If Penix falls, I could see it. If Penix falls, I could easily see that, and then they just flip Tua somewhere else, maybe.
No, keep him on the same roster for a year or two.
That would be awkward though.
Nah, let it play out.
I don't think Tua won't mentor him.
He won't.
No,
but-
they're all professionals, so you never know. But like,
Well, now you had a situation where
I could see now if Michael Penix is sitting there at the end of the second round, I could easily see a team like the Jets trading up for him.
But you got to think, it's like
They're gonna build for Rodgers and go all in this year,
they are, and then it's like Aaron Rodgers.
especially with that Hassan Reddick trade. That just said they're still gonna go all in this year on him.
And it's like Rodgers already told y'all he's doing this to help matures Zach Wilson and build.
Zach Wilson's gone.
Did he already?
No, they're gonna trade him.
Oh, well,
Or they're gonna cut him. That's probably most likely get cut. But all right, enough football. Let's talk about the real fun.
yes, let's. That's NBC.
So we talking about the ethical hooper DJ Burns first?
The ethical what again?
The ethical hooper, as I call him.
the kid from Purdue.
No, North Carolina State.
Oh,
Not Zach Edey. Zach Edey's not an ethical hooper.
oh yeah, that kid right, yeah, from NC State. Oh, dude, that kid's nice, and he's so big and just large.
I found it hilarious. They're saying they want to put somebody. They're asking him once the Final Four is over to have a pro day for the NFL and start working on trying to be an offensive tackle. It makes sense because he probably have a higher chance of making an NFL team than he does a basketball NBA team because the way his size is, right? You look at a guy like Kenny Lofton, right? He's too small, too short to be an NBA center, and he's not fast enough to be an NBA wing. So it's highly unlikely you see him become like an NBA like role player at the bare minimum. So it's like for him, he got to do what's best for him and go. He could probably make the transition to offensive tackle and make way more money. Well, not way more money, but like you have a better opportunity to make more money. But anyways, enough of that. Let's talk about his actual hooping, which is elite and is way more fun to watch. Now that being said, I'd rather watch Caitlin Clark hoop or Paige Buchers. I can't say her name properly. My bad, Paige. Paige Bucket. Someone just call her that for the entire show.
Or Juju Watkins.
But Juju Watkins got eliminated by Paige Buckets.
Unfortunately, but Juju's still nice.
But Juju Watkins a baller too. We ain't gonna say nothing wrong with that. She's a hooper too.
She's gonna break Caitlin Clark's records.
Oh yeah, I can see it. I see it. Like women's soups, like for some reason over the last like 10 years have been so much more better than it has been in like ever. But also that goes back to with like the NBA starting to promote the women's leagues, right? It has that trickle down effect where it affects the future generations and like little girls back in like 2010 or whatever, they start watching the NBA. They see them, they want to hoop too. Sorry. And they go and they start working, they start developing the game. It's kind of like how the NBA, right? You see this massive talent discrepancy between watching like 60s to 70s hoops compared to now 2010 hoops, right? It's like talent and skill levels are so much different. You're starting to see that now with women hoops too. It's like they're starting to put more into development, start building up skills, different skills areas. And you're seeing it showing on the court. And it's also fun to watch now.
One of the craziest thing I found out from my sister.
What?
It was jaw-dropping and just shocking and sad. But it was like, man, that's crazy. It's very true. Like a lot of people don't realize it, but like this season would have been Gigi Bryant. This would have been her freshman year.
Dang.
She
loved. Now that's tough. She would have been a great hooper too.
She would have started as a freshman.
Her and Juju Watkins would have been killing it for the next 3 years.
Dude, that's your 1 and 2 pick in the WNBA draft. Or Paige, dude, like
Paige is this year's draft.
Or well, you know what I mean. But it was like imagine you add in the fact that like Gigi Bryant would have been playing too. It's like
yeah, that would have been that's just
We were robbed, man.
we got robbed.
We were
Big time.
robbed of Kobe and Gigi. Because I'm like, man.
Right. All right, now you got this all depressed. Back to fun talks.
I didn't mean to do that, man. But I had to point that out.
I
man.
know it's a real point. It's a real point. Real point. All right.
Those what ifs.
So, which part you want to talk about first? The men's Final Four or the women's Final Four?
Honestly,
Men's?
dude, you know what?
We'll give more attention to the women's one at the end.
Give me the
Talk about
ladies.
it long.
Ladies first.
Ladies first. I was saving the best for last, but we can talk about the ladies first. All right.
Dude.
Iowa LSU got more views and higher ratings than the NBA Finals the last 10 years.
As expected.
And deserved. Why am I dying right now? Oh my God.
Maybe you need to drink some water.
I don't got none with me. My grammar's gone out the window. It's all good.
What's funny is I have some.
I forgot. Give me some. Anyways,
through the screen. Let me just reach over like this and you just grab it. That'd be funny if I did.
right.
I had it like this and I reached over like that and you just pulled a water bottle up that looks exactly like this and just started drinking it. We'd like send like a serious optical illusion to like the folks watching this video. And just
That'd
like,
be crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
But yeah, man. Honestly, dude, I looked at that at first. You know, LSU was down like 16-5, came back and took the lead back.
They were up 10 and then lost it. Caitlin went off. And like, bro, what were they thinking? Like, they had Haley Van Lith and Wapoa were on them both. And it's like they were going on the screens, and I'm like, do you guys realize it is literally the dumbest idea? Okay, Caitlin Clark is basically Steph Curry of women's basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would not see an NBA player ever go under a Steph Curry screen, a screen for Steph Curry. Because if you go under, that's a death sentence for any person guarding a shooter, because they're going to just pull up and launch it.
Bingo.
And it doesn't help when you're a 5'7" guard trying to guard Caitlin Clark. So you're giving up height, size, and you're going under a screen.
I have the perfect image for this as you talk. Keep going. Keep going.
I'm like, I feel like Haley Van Lith, like, she was good in Louisville, but oh my God, Monday night, oh, she was dropping some. That was like stinker of the age. Oh yeah, that meme, bro. It's like, what am I gonna do? Bro, nah, it's like you kind of like, I don't know why you were guarding her.
Someone was like, "I'm gonna send this to you when I have no other options left for you." Because it's like,
Hey,
you look at her, it's like, hey, what can you do? What can you do? I done did everything
about it.
You can't do anything else. You can't. It's like, thank you so much. I'm gonna just need you to go ahead and clock out for today. Everything that we've asked you to do. You can't do anything else. Nothing else more. So, hey, you know what? Hey, but congrats to them. You know, right now, Caitlin Clark and Iowa, they'll face off against UConn. And then on the other end, you know, South Carolina faces NC State. And that'll be the other.
That one's going to be good, too. But
So,
I kind of expect South Carolina to win that one.
Oh, same. Honestly,
that's
dude.
Kind of anticlimactic Final Four. Well, on that side of the bracket, I mean.
It's going to be South Carolina against somebody. But I can't tell you who's going to win between UConn and Iowa.
I don't know. I feel like UConn is more. How do I say this? So Angel Reese is probably going to go top 5 in the WNBA draft, right? Well, like Paige Buckets is what I'm going to just call her. Like I said, it's like she's probably going number 2. And like she's like a real hooper too. And she was coming out into college. Like she was ranked higher than both Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and she hasn't like fallen off at all in her college tenure there. So it's kind of like she already took out Juju Watkins. I could easily see her and UConn taking out Caitlin, man. That's why I kind of feel like it's gonna be South Carolina UConn. Because UConn's got that team is deep still too. So it's kind of like
it would be so fitting for South Carolina to face UConn because it's like the team that's been like since 1989, the team that's been like the top tier class of women's basketball or women's college hoops against like South Carolina, who's like this new upstart Paige Buckets versus Caitlin Clark is like the best matchup in college basketball in years. I just wish it was the championship game. Honestly, hey, look, I like that we're getting it when we're getting it because it's like you can't forget about Don Staley. You just can't. Because
they're the sleeping giants too. Is like they're just snooze walking their whole way down the tank, and it's kind of like
undefeated. They're undefeated too.
Exactly. Like this, I'm gonna say it like this. So like in video games, right? You got the boss fight as the final one, but you also have like the 3 levels before you get to the boss fight, and it gets harder every time. So like LSU was the first level in the boss fight. UConn is gonna be the second level in the boss fight. That's elite to watch, and then South Carolina is just that final stage, and it's like to deal with the final boss. That's what South Carolina is, and it's just like, oh crap. Like if like Iowa won right against UConn, they would have to then take out Colorado, LSU, UConn, and then have to go face the final boss. And South Carolina's like, wait, she's got another year? Wait, oh crap, she came out the same year as Jalen Suggs, and Suggs is only a third year, so Paige Buckets is next year's pick, number 1 then. Man, I forgot about that. Because her and Suggs were in the same class in Minnesota. Boo, I thought she was this year. I forgot. Man, I'm sad. I have to wait another year for the WNBA. Oh, man. It's all good. She's going to probably run it next year. That's going to be her. If we can get, like, keep South Carolina on one side of the bracket and then UConn on the next side of the bracket next year, like, just give me UConn, USC in the finals. That'll be fun. Again.
That's likely what's going to happen, honestly. Honestly, what's funny now that you mentioned the tournaments and stuff is like somebody was like, I ain't seen USC get this much hype in the tournament since Monica and Q were both at USC. I don't know if he understands that movie reference, folks. Wait, Ace, do you understand that movie? Nah. Okay, so Love and Basketball came out back in like the 90s, and it was like a sports / romantic film. Again, I guess partially comedy, but it was like Monica and Q, they both like grew up together, like they liked each other a lot. And they played, and their relationship was basically centered around basketball. And so then I'm just giving him like the basic bottom line of it, guys, to kind of speed up the process. And so, like, they both ended up going to USC together. I think USC made the tournament in both men's and women's and stuff. And Monica surged as Q kind of had his injury and he kind of dwindled down, but still made it to the league and stuff. And it's basically a love movie. But USC was a powerhouse in basketball in the movie. So like, it's like people are like, I haven't seen USC get this much attention in basketball since Monica and Q. So I think you should go watch it. I think you should go watch it. I think you would look at it and be like, what the heck is this?
All right, I'll talk about this in a minute. All right, so Final Four prediction for the women's side. We got what? South Carolina, UConn, or are you taking Iowa?
I'm taking South Carolina and UConn.
So we're both doing the same thing?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I think Caitlin Clark's going to she's going
to ball out. I just think the lack of depth on Iowa's going to catch up.
Yeah, and I think UConn will have a plan. UConn is, dude, they've been doing this for 30 years.
They will not go under a screen. They won't go under a screen.
You got to think about all the battle. Like, do you got to think about how war ready and how like battle tested UConn is? You can't throw anything at UConn that they haven't seen before over the past 30 years. You name it, they've conquered it.
Yeah,
That's true. Like, come on.
They've seen everything in the last decade. I mean, so has South Carolina, but they've seen more than Iowa has.
In the last
decade, I will say this. Last thing on the women's side. Well, yeah. But I'll say this. All right, last thing on the women's side before we talk about the men. Bro, y'all fans got to get y'all acts together. Y'all has been treating like, well, you got to stop what y'all doing with how y'all treating LSU those players and stuff like that. Them girls don't deserve that. I know the media needs a villain for Caitlin Clark to be the hero, but like, y'all's going a little too far now with what y'all was doing with Angel Reese and the LSU team, man. Y'all just come on now, be better than that. All right, back to the men's tournament. Just wanted to say that. Got to clear that up. That was some nasty stuff.
Bring up Ashton's tweet again.
All right, Alabama being a basketball school.
So funny thing about this one right here is like you look at it. Alabama is the only team to make the college football playoff and make the NCAA tournament.
I will do you one better than that, right?
Do me one better.
Well, I can't say that because Michigan didn't make the tournament this year. But University of Michigan has had football playoff appearances in both hockey and football in the last 3 years.
I believe
and their Michigan basketball team has been good sometimes. Juwan Howard kind of fell off, but like
that's unfortunate.
Michigan basketball was good at one point too, but I just wanted to say that too. But all right, Alabama being a basketball school. As of right now, with Nick Saban gone and like Alabama football has not been as dominant last year.
As far as this goes,
it's still a football school. It's still a football school, but as of right now, at this very moment, it's a basketball school.
I'm gonna go one further for you with that. Alabama baseball is 22-7.
Oof.
And as you stated, and then on top of that, Alabama basketball Final Four, Alabama football, college football playoff appearance, Alabama softball 26-8 right now as it stands, and they play Ole Miss tomorrow or Friday at 6 p.m. Central Time.
Yeah. So Alabama is just a sports school in general. We knew this, but like baseball is just as good too.
Oh, I'm gonna keep going. Not to mention, Alabama also talented track team, and not to mention as well, before we had the Alabama-Georgia football rivalry, Alabama and Georgia were rivals in gymnastics. So Alabama's also powerful in gymnastics.
Dang, that's crazy.
So
that's just a sports school all around.
If we're being honest, and you just go look at what they're building with their athletic facility, like they're putting millions of dollars into athletics alone. They have a machine or a device that you can just stand on, and it tells you what type of shoe you need to wear for sports performance. Nobody else in the country has that. Nobody. And I mean, plus I know a kid that ran track at University of Alabama, and dude, honestly, like the progression that they've made just simply from like 2018 to now goes to show like Alabama is an everything school. Everything. It's not just it ain't just some school down in Dixie anymore. It is when I say the pride of the South, like that is the South's golden child. So I mean,
that's facts,
dude. It's insane, but I'm curious to see how they match up against UConn. I feel like if there's anybody that can get UConn, this is it. And I don't think that's out of the woods.
UConn is deep. That's the whole issue with them.
They're deep. Alabama's big. Just like Alabama's very large.
Alabama in the Sweet 16, I think it was. No, who was they playing and they took them out?
They took out.
I think it was Sweet 16.
It was North Carolina.
It was North Carolina when they ran the football play on the inbounds.
Probably, because honestly,
I can't remember which one.
I looked at that matchup and I was like, "My God, Alabama!"
They was bullying UNC.
Yeah, I was like, they're bigger than North Carolina. Like, and I was like, okay, well, North Carolina, that basketball program. That's a program built on basketball. They're gonna find a way, like they always do. No, they bullied. They put that toughness and grit on that boy. There's no getting away from it.
If any team can beat UConn, it's probably going to be either NC State or Alabama. I don't think Purdue does it. I think Klingon is gonna bully Zach Edey. I think Zach Edey's kind of too skinny for the Klingon to deal with. So I hope my thing for the men's tournament is DJ Burns takes it to the finals in the championship game. I want to see that happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Purdue basketball this year, I just like I don't like Zach Edey.
You heard what he said, right? About like how, so many other teams like slept on him and stuff. And then like
I don't care.
This is like his revenge tour. Hey. He's getting
nobody. He can do what he wants. Whatever. I don't. Yeah.
This is that get back, man. That's all it is.
You can have the get back. I'll just root for the fun team in North Carolina State.
If Gino wins it all with all the injuries, boy, hey, you can't tell him nothing. But I mean, this is what he does. He is a master planner. He's been at this. He is a large reason for North Carolina, or not North Carolina. He's a large reason for UConn's success. So if he can overcome this one, it's another stepping stone. He is UConn basketball. He's made it what it is. I love that style of play. That and soccer.
I think UConn, as much as I said I wasn't fearing them at this point, I think it's going to probably be UConn in the finals against NC State, hopefully, but it's probably UConn or Purdue.
You going with that for the men? So UConn against NC State?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Then again, I was good in the first round of 64. I got only like 4 wrong in the first round of 64. And then I was good in the round of 32, and then I was terrible at picking the Sweet 16. Like my bracket was elite, then good, or elite, great, and then terrible in the Sweet 16. Bro, I only got like 3 picks right in the Sweet 16. And I got no Final Four picks right.
Dude, it's fine. Honestly, I think I've trashed both my brackets. Pretty sure I have at this point. But, honestly, I'm looking forward to it all together as one. I can't wait to see how it unfolds and everything. It's a lot of good matchups. The more storylines on the women's side than there is the men's, but I can't wait, man. And honestly, I will say this though, despite everything, I was sad to see some of the talent and some of the certain teams get sent home. I didn't want to see the girl from Iowa State go home. I didn't want to see Juju go home, but I was like, man, I just want the girl from Iowa State to come back next year because I like watching Iowa State just for her, for the sole purpose.
That's about fair too. All right, anything else? On the NCAA side? I think we got everything.
We did. Also, too. So, now that we transition to hot topic. So, once again, for those that didn't catch it at the beginning of the show, yes, for all 14 of you that are watching this and all 13 of you on Twitter, if you want to know who it is, you'll have to kill me. But we do know who FAMU named this quarterback's coach. We do know. Ace, you know as well. If you don't know Ace, check the private chat.
I already saw.
Oh, so yes. They already named somebody. If you want to know, you have to kill me. So, with that being said, you will all find out at the spring game.
You're just happy you know something people don't. Be real.
Toot toot.
All right. Anyways, guys, while he toots his horn. All right. Well, Braun's got 2 more years left. I think he's just waiting for Bronny, but Bronny entered the transfer portal, so that might take a while.
Yeah.
But Bronny also wasn't ready for the NBA. You could see it. He wasn't fully back from that heart thing, so he needs to go and get himself back in hoop balling shape. So
honestly, dude, I think part of what I think honestly, a lot of people don't realize how good we had it. We went from
Braun is like 40 years old, still hitting, or 38 or whatever, hitting step back, fadeaway, 40 bombs.
It's not even that. It's just like you look at like, okay, Jordan came into the league in 84. From 84 to like 2001, 2002, we had Jordan. And then like he leaves, LeBron comes in right after that. And LeBron done held it down up to now, and probably likely for the next year or 2 years, like until this next phenom comes along. So it's like we've had it so good since 1984.
They have it set up for Wemby, but I think Ant's gonna probably be better.
Probably.
Well, not Ant won't probably be better than Wemby, but like I think it's gonna be. How do I say this? When you watch Anthony Edwards play, right, he kind of just reminds you of Jordan how he does it.
So he's an assassin.
Anthony Edwards. Yeah. So like, if I had to say who the face of the leagues are gonna be, right? You got like Luka and Shea, right? Those guys, they're their own type of players, but they're also really good players. But then they're like 25, 27-ish area. Whereas you got Ant Edwards, I believe, is like 21 or 22, right? Paolo just turned 21. And when you watch Paolo play, he looks just like LeBron. Like, he's a 6'10 version of LeBron. Like, people try to say Ben Simmons was LeBron coming out. And that, like, just turn on that tape and, like, just watch Paolo play. It looks just like LeBron. With Carmelo's jump shot.
Are you saying that with no Magic bias intended?
Yes. I'm not doing national media stuff. Like if you watch some of the guys on Ringer, you can see, like, just watch it. Trust me, if you watch how he dunks it, how he breaks people down with his ball handling skills at that size and passing, it is just like LeBron. Now, on the other hand, you got Wemby, who I can't even give you a comp for him. He just is his own player. He's going to get a quadruple double at some point. It's not even a matter of if. He will get a quadruple double with just blocks, rebounds, points, and assists. And hell, he might get a quintuple. Ashton switched to Facebook. Do you think it's Chris Paul's last year? Hey, he balled out last night, so I ain't know. He might have a little bit more in the tank, but on defense, he's a traffic cone.
Honestly, dude, I feel like the clock is ticking on Chris. Dude, it's funny Ashton says this. Like, for me, I didn't realize, like, do you realize a lot of our faces in basketball are like really, really old? Like, even Steph Curry has been in the league for like 15, 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just
Westbrook and KD are old too.
Yeah, like, it's crazy how old a lot of these dudes are. But, the advances in sports medicine, plus, the fact that, like, a lot of these guys don't drink like their counterparts will drink or smoke cigars like a lot of their counterparts did back in the 90s, and sports medicine has progressed greatly since then. It's like they don't look it. They look a lot younger. So it's like, damn. Like, I never would have guessed. But it's like, yeah, dude, Steph Curry's been in this for a while, and I'm just like amazed. I was amazed to find that out. I was amazed to find out how old KD was. I was amazed to see, like, all of that. Like, to be real with you, the one that really took me by surprise, because I didn't realize that he was as old as he was Allen Iverson when he retired. I didn't realize AI was that old.
Hey, they don't age most of the time.
Well, black don't crack.
I mean, you ain't lying there.
That's a standalone fact that stood the test of time. But yeah, dude, honestly, like, I was just, that one blew my mind the most. I was like, when I found that, I was like, AI is retiring. I was like, he looks like he's like 26. But, hey, it is what it is, man. So I think right now it's just like we need to enjoy these stars while we have them.
Yep.
The other thing, too, is the NBA, Major League Baseball lived up to the hype of the opening day or opening weekend. And I think we can all kind of say, from what it looks like, a lot of teams that are you can't even say who's the early favorite, because, You could be
Oh
hot.
no, I'm not even doing that. I'm not doing that. I learned that lesson with the Rays last year. Like they came out smoking hot,
They won
and
like
then they fell off a cliff.
Because
It's like wait till the playoffs, man. Right, like the month before the playoffs.
Because look, this is where we're at right now. This is where we're at. The Pirates are 5-0. The Dodgers are 6-2. The Detroit Tigers are 4-0. The Cleveland Guardians are 5-2. The New York Yankees are 6-1. I am not putting stock in that right now.
Hey, I remember was it 6 years ago now? The Nationals were like dead last in the standings in like now or May. Like they were dead last for like first third of the season, and then all of a sudden they like flipped that switch and they went off and like they went bananas. And they came out second half of the season, went crazy, made a run in the playoffs, won the World Series, and was like, yeah, we're not taking anything that happens in the first half of the season for real. Because baseball is so long. It's like 162 games.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't judge anything in the first 50 games because you still have 130 games still to go. Or not 130, 160, so 110 games still to go.
Yeah, plus the postseason.
Plus the postseason.
So, I'm not putting stock in it, man. Now,
To put it in perspective, right? And NBA and NHL seasons are 82 games each, right?
Mm-hmm.
Baseball is almost double that. So you can't judge anything in the first 50 games of an MLB season because that's not even a whole NBA or NHL season still to go.
Correct. Oh, there it is. I was actually looking for it. I was going to say, funny you speak of the NHL. The NHL is actually being played right now, and the Lightning actually are up 3-1, and then you have the New Jersey
They
Devils.
are? Now you
Yes.
got me checking that.
And then the New York Rangers are tied 3-3 with the New Jersey Devils.
Point scored, Stamkos scored, and Hedman scored. So the big dogs are carrying again. Very nice, very nice. Vasilevsky's on a heater right now.
And
They've
then,
not last night. Today's what, Wednesday? So Monday night was their first regulation loss since March 7th. They won almost a whole month without losing in regulation. Like Vasi's cooking right now.
I'm actually trying to find it because it says it's on ESPN Plus. But oh, there it is.
Oh, speaking of which, start of the Rangers Devils game. If you ever want a reason to watch hockey, go watch on Twitter the first about 10 minutes of the Rangers Devils game. First 2 seconds into the game, you had a fight break out with Jimmy VC, and I forgot the other guy's name. They had a fight, right? That started the whole game. That's the first 2 seconds of the game. The other 5 guys on each team, right, besides the goalies, so there's 10 guys on the ice, right? The other 8 guys went and started fighting each other too, so it was a full line fight. All 5 guys on each side of the ice were fighting each other, and they ejected 8 of the guys.
Is this fight on Twitter?
Yeah, it's on Twitter. I'm serious. Like they literally ejected 8 guys, and then the head coaches started arguing, like shouting and having a shouting match at each other on the other side.
That's crazy. Wait, let me find this. I need to find this. This is wild. Oh wow, what do you know? That's
why you should watch hockey. It's all fun in there. Those 2 teams hate each other. It's so crazy.
Rightfully so. Like right there across the water from each other, dude.
Jersey, New York, they don't like each other at all. But all right.
That's crazy.
I think that's it. Embiid made his return last night, and in typical Embiid fashion, he had 12 free throws.
Oh,
Half
man.
his bunch of free throws.
That stinks. It's blacked out in my area.
Which game?
The Lightning game, but I guess I should just go to Bally.
Yeah.
Just get it on Bally Sports. That's disappointing. But as it stands, though, before we do get out of here for tonight, So the standings goes as follows. Boston has already wrapped up.
The playoffs. He's there in the playoffs.
Well, Florida too. Panthers as well.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, you have both already securing playoff spots in the Metropolitan, the Rangers, and the Carolina
Hurricanes.
Hurricane already locked theirs up. The Dallas Stars and the Avalanche have already locked theirs up. I think realistically speaking, the Lightning, I think, are going to secure.
Lightning are getting in. They're almost a lock at this point. That March after that trade deadline, where it's like they didn't look like they were going to make the playoffs, and all of a sudden they go crazy hot. Yeah, they're making the playoffs now.
Oh yeah, I believe it. It's just I was kind of hoping that they would crawl out of that 4th spot, but I guess not.
Hey, if they get a wild card spot and they end up playing either Boston or Florida, they're gonna probably beat. Like the Florida series, they might have trouble with Florida because like they've this year they've been having trouble since they got to Chuck on Florida. It's been a little bit harder for them.
Mm-hmm.
But like if they get Boston, they could take out Boston. I think.
I think they can.
But for the wild card, you got teams. The Capitals right now are holding it down. Dylan Strome's been going bananas for him, so good for him. You got the Red Wings. They're tied with the Capitals right now. And the Red Wings got their captain back and Dylan Larkin, so now they're starting to cook again. They had a hard time earlier on when he was hurt. They should probably sneak into that second wildcard spot. In the West, the Predators, Roman Yossi's been going bananas. They were like 16-0 at one point. I still think they haven't lost. They lost 3 in the last 3 games, but they had won 16 straight at one point. So yeah, that was going crazy. And the LA Kings right now.
I need you to educate me on something right here, real quick. How come it says games played 76, and then it says Boston's 44-17, but then you look at the other one and it says games played, it says 75, and it's got the New York Rangers at 50-21.
Did you look at the overtime losses?
Oh, okay, I see now. Ooh, I see. Okay, that makes sense.
Cool. All right. With that being said, I think that's it for us. The NBA, more or less right now, the East is in a dogfight right now between the 3 and 6 seeds. Well, actually, 3 through 8 is kind of a dogfight. They're like right up with each other. Because like you have the Bucks are 40, actually from 2 to 8. Well, actually 2 through 5 are a 3-game spread. Meanwhile, 4 through 7 is a 2-game spread. So like the East is right there with each other. So the Bucks are 47-28, Cavaliers are 46-30, Magic are 44-31. So are the Knicks, same record. Pacers are 43-33, Heat are 42-33, and the Sixers are at the 8th seed at 41-35. As of right now, the Bulls and the Hawks are the 2 play-in teams. The Nets are out of the playoffs at this point, I'm pretty sure. With 1 more game, so it's pretty much it's in the books for them. But on the West side, if the playoffs started right now, you would get the Nuggets and Suns in the first round. The Lakers and Warriors are the 2 play-in teams, so they could easily take out the Kings or the Suns and get in as the 7th or 8th seed.
Good to see the
Pelicans are the 6 seeds, so right now it would be Pelicans and OKC and Clippers Mavericks. That'd be pretty fun.
It would be.
All right. With that said, let's wrap this up. I need water. I'm dying here.
So you got to keep a water bottle near you, man.
I forgot. Okay, chill.
We're going to let this poor baby get some water, and then so we can get out of here for the night, folks. But as always, thank you so much for joining us this evening. You guys have been fantastic. Thank you for lighting up the comment section. Ashton, more of you guys, please, by all means, be sure to leave comments. And then also make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this channel as well. If you were watching on Twitter, which most of you were, go to YouTube and go hit the subscribe button. Please, by all means. We know you guys were watching on Twitter tonight. We see it. So, yes, again, go to YouTube, subscribe.
Maybe when next year when we have more free time, hockey podcast might start up. This year it's kind of late to do it.
Did y'all? I mean, you can still do it right
He
now.
said-
But time with the
He said
playoffs,
he was gonna do it on Sunday evenings, and I never heard back from him. So it's kind of like,
dude. You guys stay on about it, man. Do you want his number? I'm gonna give you his number.
hey, no, he texted me, and he's just like, okay, you're just not gonna.
You have his
I said, oh,
Instagram?
good.
Do you have his Instagram?
Yeah.
I'd reach out and DM him. Reach out.
He
and DM.
does have the notifications off, so it's kind of like, okay, but it's all good.
Yeah, no, he
Who
does that.
knows?
Or get his
Who
Snapchat.
knows?
Get his Snapchat. He'll answer his Snapchat. He'll send you 20 snaps. But yes. So with that being said, folks, we're gonna get out of here. We hope you've enjoyed as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. So with that being said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, that's all we got tonight. So stay safe,
All
stay
right,
blessed.
be a friend, tell a friend, stay safe. Yeah, run
See you
it
next
out.
week.